is great morning. I need to move it over. Where you mean it? Hold on, I can't see it. Wait a minute, y'all. I made it small. My bad. Hold on, y'all. Let me put y'all right there. And then put y'all right there. Great morning. Great morning. Great morning. Great people. Welcome to the message, y'all. Welcome to the message. I know I'm a couple more tinks early. Not the morning. That's how I feel. Y'all, somebody help. I'm in the street. Wait a minute. Great morning, y'all. Y'all, I'm in distress. I feel like it's a visitor in my house. And he been stressing me out since yesterday. Great morning, y'all. Welcome to the message. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling good. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Y'all, I done felt so discombobulational this morning. I don't know if it's because the Lord woke me up at 0000. No, I'm not. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to look that number up. Y'all come in, like the live, share the live, subscription. What? Wait a minute. What that mean? Hold on. Wait a minute, little people now. Oh, I'm gonna have to change my prescription. Overage charges, which will be charged in the. Oh, let me hurry up and make the change. Okay, I'm back. Welcome to the message. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling good, child. That kind of just caught me off guard, but okay, I'm back. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We in this thing. If you are new to the message, welcome. We are so happy and so grateful you are here. And if you was an old tea, but good tea, welcome back. Y'all show the new people them what to do. Come in, like the live, share the love. Drop something in the chat that you're grateful for. Let's get in the flow of abundance. Baby, some kind of they gonna have to tell me something. Cause they said I had till October. So y'all sometimes you might have to get a little bit of clarification on some stuff. Okay. You might have to get a little clarification, but that's okay. We gonna get it. Good morning, Aisha. Good morning. Aisha checking in on the YouTube side of the street. Y'all. First of all, can I talk about how the Lord had woke me up at 0000? I'm not even exaggerating. That's what my phone said. It literally said 00. Is that a look upable number? Is that a spell check? I don't know. Let's see if it's a look upable number. I doubt it. Come on, completion 0000. No, I don't guess that really mean too much. Midnight. Okay, for those if you know, you know. Listen, my phone said 0000. Imagine my shock. I say, wait a minute, Lord. So I think that's why I feel a little discombobulated because y'all, I literally been up since midnight and I still don't even much know why the Lord had me up. Lord, my God in heaven. So I've really been up since midnight. Like for Rizzle. So I'm probably gonna take a nap. I still got one more final to do today. Anyway, I'm gonna do it though. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning. Y'all like the live, share the love. We're in Leviticus 17 this morning. That's why I went on ahead. I said, I ain't even got no line, no waiting on today. I had to go ahead and get done. Cause I feel like I might have to take a nap. I say, Lord, that it I mean, I went to praying and stuff because it was like midnight on the head. I said, ain't even he wasn't no on the 1 minute before or after. No, he meant right then. And so he woke me up. Now I did have a good little talk with the Lord today. Now let me just tell y'all, Leviticus 17, it's a little deep. Okay, it's a little deep. But the Lord had took me in a whole nother direction. And it's kind of, I mean, it is, but it ain't. And then he confirmed it in something he had me listen to on today. It's a little deep, but first of all, let's just do this. Drop this in the chat. I'm covered. Okay. So that's first things first. Let's talk about that. We covered. Okay. So it's some things that the Lord is orchestrating. Man, y'all, it's some things that the Lord is doing. Hold on. Let me find somewhere to put my phone. Um, I'm covered. Keep us covered in the blood. Keep us covered in the blood. I am covered by the blood. I am covered by the blood. Okay, I'm back. Good morning, Mindy. Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Honey Bunny. So that's the first thing. So Leviticus 17 deals with not eating the blood. Okay. Prohibitions. I said prohibitions. That's what I said. My bad. Sorry, you little religiosity people near. My bad. I wasn't trying to call nobody a prohibit. I ain't mean it. I'm back. Prohibitions against eating blood. Okay. So that's where I thought the Lord was going to be taking me and talking to me on this morning. But that's not kind of really where he went. And so we going to talk about the notes and stuff I got. I'm going to tell some folks right now, don't come over here with no religiosity in your spirituals, because we not on that. Okay. I'm just telling you right now. And let me just tell you, today ain't the day. Number one, I think I ain't getting no sleep. That's probably why I didn't get no sleep. Did y'all see the video I posted on yesterday? Y'all, listen at me. Heard me and heard me well. Why? He probably still in here. He probably came out while I was asleep, didn't it? You heard me, I bastard. I said it. I said it. Y'all, why? Good morning, Pam. I don't even know if I said good morning, Pam. Y'all, it was a cockroach in my house on yesterday. Somebody help. It was a cockroach in here. I'm chilling, super chilling, eating my food, chilling. And all of a sudden, here he come, skedaddling across the floor. Y'all, I couldn't even much get up quick enough. I couldn't even get up. No, Pam said I woke up to probably that roach that was in my house. Anyway, now let me just be very clear. I don't have roaches. But if you in the South and you got 50, 1,100 trees out there, dude, they literally cover every side of my apartment, y'all. You understand what I'm talking about? He felt like he was at home. Cause you should have seen the way he was strutting across this floor. He was strutting, and I'm running because I didn't have to. I say, "Oh shit!" I jump up. I got to go get the broom. By the time I get the broom, Pam, I'm coming back to you. He had this skedaddled. It was almost like he turned around too. He turned around and looked at me too. He like turned around and posed for a second, and then he ran up under the air conditioner. Needless to say, I sat there for 2 hours with the broom waiting on him to come out. He ain't came out yet. If I listen, that's probably why I ain't sleep. Cause I just knew in my mind that he was gonna come out while I was asleep. Anyway, I'm back. It's cool though. Show up today. Show up today. Bastard. Y'all, I don't care. I said this in the video. I'ma say it again. I don't care that he ain't but 2 inches. 2 inches. And I care nothing about it. The Lord gonna be shout. He gonna be shout one of them. He gonna be shout. He coming up shout. Sorry, Lord. You got enough of them on the earth. Anyway, I'm back. My bad. I had a moment. Cause yeah, he in here. And I'm still paranoid. Cause I feel like at any moment he might show his face. Anyway, I'm back. Pam, I'm sorry you had a flat tire this morning, honey Winnie. Oh my gosh, not hard R. Hey, honey Winnie. And try not the hard R. Hold on, let me block you, boo. Cause what? Baby, he came on him. Hey, baby, you talk too much. Okay, I'm back. Um, I was in Kemah, Texas, on the Gulf Shore the week before last, and babe, I'm talking about these cockroaches down here, y'all. They not even from Earth. I refuse to believe it. I didn't have to deal with them in the California I ate, and welcome back. They not from Earth. I believe that the Lord sent them here. They from like Mars or somewhere. They got to be, because it don't even make no sense, y'all. I don't have no understanding. I don't have no understanding. Where the portal? We know it's portals and stuff. Where the portal? How they got here? These like the men in black ass roaches. Like they. Anyway, I'm back. I had a moment. Welcome to the message. Maybe I had to come on early so I could share that with y'all. What else? I'm back. They not from Earth. I believe it. Somebody called Will Smith. Good morning, Chris Curls. Good morning. We in Leviticus 17 on today, y'all. Y'all like the loud, share the loud, share the love. Now, like I said, this went a little left for me on today with the Lord. Not really for me, but maybe for some other people. Again, if you got religiosity in your spirituals, you might feel some type of way today, but I'm still gonna say what I'm gonna say. Bars, here we go. Um, Leviticus 17, we're gonna get the Bible clarity, then we're gonna get the kingdom clarity. Come on, contracts. Anyway, that see a contract over there. Here we go. The sacredness of the blood, of course, we know this. We are covered. We are covered. Thank you, Lord, for keeping us covered. This is a side note, and I don't know exactly where the Lord is going with this, y'all, but he's taking us somewhere with this, because kind of everything, some of the, and this is like almost, again, it's like a one-off. This is why I feel like the Lord, what's in Leviticus 17 is extremely important, because life is in the blood, right? But then again, the Lord kind of took me somewhere else in this, and so I'm just gonna tell y'all what I wrote. You don't attract or get what you want, you get what you are. Okay. And I know that the Lord is going somewhere with this. And that may be something that continues to develop as we go through the rest of the week. So that was kind of a side note. I heard that yesterday before I went to bed, and then the Lord brought it back into my spirituals on this morning. So again, write this down. Somebody write this down. You don't attract or get what you want, you get what you are. Okay, we'll come back to that. God provides the way. And so again, y'all, and God reveals himself in so many ways. Can anybody agree with that? I made a statement, maybe it was last week. Was it last week, y'all? I think I said something to the effect of Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Okay, let's be very clear. Jesus is the way. Drop that in the chat. Let's true story give God the glory for this morning. Jesus is the way. Okay, and I have that written right here. But for you religiosity people, them you finna. Oh, all right, don't say I didn't warn you. Okay. Good morning, Jared. God reveals himself in so many ways. Jesus is the way. He's our human example. But we've also seen characteristics of Jesus in people, right? This is what the Lord said. Mother Teresa. I'm not terribly familiar with Mother Teresa, but I know she was like a patron saint, right? Martin Luther King Jr. Okay. And then he said, us. I say, okay. Jesus is our first human example of God, but we have had types of Christ as we are types of Christ. Huh? I said, as we are types of Christ. I said, as we are created in the image of God. Okay. We are, of course, unable to achieve the perfection of the Christ, but we too are little Christs. Good morning. Thank you for the follow, dearest one. Hey, thank you, Jay. But we too are little Christs intended to be reflections of the Father. Life becomes easier once you have understanding. And then it kind of transitions to something else. So it was like that part came, and then the Lord started talking about something else completely. So y'all just stay tracking with me. Okay. Good morning, Melvina. Good morning. Life becomes easier once you have understanding of the competing forces in your life. They begin to work in synergy. So I say that I feel like you went somewhere else because I was lost. So for many of us, and so the way he explained this to me, so I hope I can explain this to y'all. It's like a remembering. I feel like what he's leading us to is remembering who we are, y'all. because over the course of this morning, like I said, I've been up since midnight. So over the course of this morning, even yesterday, and some stuff that I'm gonna share with y'all coming up for over the next, maybe the next week or so, there's a call once again to remember who you are, right? And so the way the Lord was explaining this to me this morning is that for many of us, what's happening is we're beginning to integrate our identities. Okay. You don't have to be just one thing or just another thing. Many of us, what part of our assignment that's coming up next is an integration of our identities. We had a kind of discussion on the other day, and this is kind of a one off, but where it's like two things can be right at the same time. You don't have to just be one thing. Thank you so much for the gifts, dearest one. You don't have to just be one thing. You can be more than one thing at a time. And so part of our understanding, and as we step into our new assignments in this new season, is that you may be called to be more than one thing at one time. Thank you for reposting unapologetically. Good morning, honey. I hope that makes sense. So whereas things have been, maybe the Lord has had you with two assignments. Let's just use two. Most of us have more than two assignments, honey. Um, but it's almost like what the Lord is doing is showing you how things are going to start to combine as you accept the assignment. Man, as you accept the assignment and you step into the assignment, you're going to start to see how everything begins to connect. Does that make sense? What feels like maybe you have felt like things were disconnected. Maybe you had seven different things and you felt like they were all individual things, but what the Lord is doing is showing you how all of it was always intended to connect. I hope that makes sense. Good morning, Golden. Good morning. Everything, including us, is here for purpose. And then I wrote borrowed time, right? Because we know that everything belongs to the Lord. Your gift, your talents, your skills, your abilities, whatever you have, it belongs to God. We're just borrowing it, including the time. Stewardship, not ownership. And this is because we don't own it. Pray that God gives you the capacity to increase your stewardship and your territory. So before you ask him to increase the territory, enlarge the territory, ask him to increase your capacity to hold it. So then the next thing that the Lord ended up talking to me about or sending me, hold on, y'all, so I don't be distracted. We started talking about paganism. Okay. And this where I kind of was like, Lord, where where are we even going with this? But let me tell you why. It was one sentence. And this how it be when you read in scripture, right? One sentence, and all of a sudden the Lord will start talking about, like, he'll just take you all the way there. One sentence. Leviticus 17:7. The people must no longer be unfaithful to the Lord by offering sacrifices to goat idols. And so I say, okay, Lord, I'm tracking with that. But then me and the Lord started having a discussion because I done said this, and we're gonna have to talk. We talking more about this because see, I feel like this conversation is coming up. The people who have unique gifts, the people who have gifts that are unorthodox and not traditional, you probably gonna resonate with this. So the Lord, and He has given me revelation about this before. Maybe, thank y'all. Maybe your lifestyle is not quite the same as or what other people think that it should be. Do you think that God knows who he put on the earth? Like, do you think that God knows how he made and created somebody to be? So if he created them to be the way that they are, who am I to tell somebody how to live their life? I'll be back. We'll come back to that. So me and the Lord started talking about paganism. And I wrote this. I say, well, I guess you could call me that, although I serve God to the best of my ability. And the Lord said, be mindful of classifying people. And I was like, well, I don't classify myself, but other people might classify me. And I said, I believe that Jesus is the way. He is my Lord and Savior, right? I don't know nothing else. Everything I do is for the Lord. I believe that God shows himself, which I parenthesed and said itself, because if you know, you know, God is not a man nor a woman. Hello. But we ain't got time to fight that fight today. That's not the fight we own. That's the culture we live in. We look at God as the he. So let's just go with it, because I ain't here for that today. I ain't got the time. Okay. So God shows itself in many ways: the air, nature, people, the stars. And then the Lord started to say, and then here go to daddy. He say, all as long as the worship stays pure. And we continue to talk about paganism. And then all of a sudden the Lord took over control of the pen. And then he started giving me some words. So let me just tell y'all, you ready? Here we go. Pagan practices depends on whose definition you're using. A pagan practice isn't simply a cultural custom or something that originated outside of Israel. It's an act of worship, devotion, or spiritual reliance directed towards someone or something other than God. What you say? Paganism is an act of worship, devotion, or spiritual reliance directed toward someone or something other than God. Hence, the people them still they were sacrificing to the goats, right? Which was other than God, right? So I said God gave me revelation many years ago about the territory we are venturing into, because we're gonna visit this a couple times coming up in Leviticus. Whew, that I got to say it. I got to say this part. Okay, this is where the Lord had took over my pen and said, it's why, excuse me, it's why I can keep doing what I'm doing with confidence in God. It's why you gonna be able to use your gifts with confidence, boldly, because you know you're doing it in service to the Lord. The heart and object of worship is God. And that is what differentiates pagan versus not. Imagine the angel of the Lord, or the angels who show themselves at various times, were the prophets considered spiritists, because that word is coming up here in scripture. Were they considered spiritists for consulting with them, to pagan or not to pagan? Imagine men who wrote the Bible that we currently have, who read and understood how to gain access to the kingdom through the wisdom obtained therein. This how I knew this was the Lord, because who say the word therein? One more time. Imagine men who wrote the Bible that we currently have, who read and understood how to gain access to the kingdom through the wisdom obtained therein. Imagine men who desired to maintain control over the people, Pharisees, so as a result, and to keep themselves in power, they decided to say, God said this is wrong. But it's only wrong because they, number one, have discovered it for themselves and understand the power of self that it wields. Number two, if everyone had this knowledge, then they would no longer be needed. They would lose the control and power over the people that they have. Imagine then a means of controlling access to God was then established, and them being the gatekeepers or holders of the keys. So they insisted of everyone having a relationship with God as God desired. They directed people and encouraged the thinking that access to God could only be attained through them standing as the intermediary, them standing as the door, them standing in the place of Christ. So imagine they build systems and programs to keep control in their hands. The Lord gave me scripture, Matthew 23:13. They lock people out of heaven's kingdom, refusing to go in themselves or let others in. They ain't in, and they don't want you in either, because then they won't have control over you. That's why you have to seek the kingdom for yourself, because the enemy's job is to keep you out. If and when you know the kingdom, and once you experience the kingdom, the world will never do. That's life with the king in the kingdom. Religion, with its strict rules and sometimes false teachings, and are sometimes geared towards idolatry, meaning there is encouragement of worshiping the church, the ancillary staff, the prophets, apostles, pastors, bishops, clergy, instead of worshiping the creator. At that moment, I got a notification. It was 2:22 a.m. and the Lord, and I had the cards, God's chessboard, James 4:7, and the Leo card. Remember too that God reveals himself now differently than he did at that time. They were a culture of shepherds, so the Bible uses that language. We as a culture are not as familiar with shepherding because we don't use it or do it. So God uses what our culture is more attuned to. Does it change what God has and is revealing? Don't treat lightly what God calls sacred. And that's it. And that's all. And I say, Lord, you should. He said, I said what I said. I say, you sure you want me to say that? He say, yeah, say that. Because just saying. And that's it. I don't have another note. That was all he gave me for Leviticus 17. He said, ain't no explanationals. And my understanding, because I say, well, Lord, you kind of just, you're abrupt. You was, he said, yeah. He said, because it's the point of remembering that Jesus is our intermediary. And many people will stifle their gifts, their talents, because other people will tell them that you can't possibly serve the Lord that way. I had an opportunity, and those of you subscribe to the Kingdom Clarity newsletter, you'll hear more about this because I'm going to talk about it on today. When I type up the newsletter, I had an opportunity to talk to somebody yesterday, and I didn't completely understand. As I was talking to him, he kind of had a download that something the Lord put in his spirituals right then in the conversation. And so he told me, let's look at my voice now. And the thing he said is, don't compromise. And I thought about it. I came home thinking about it, right? Because I was like, don't compromise. And he said what he meant. And I was like, don't compromise. And I was like, Lord, what do you mean by that? And it's me also understanding, even now, as the Lord is showing it to me, how that ties into what he gave me. Some of you are getting ready to use your gifts in a way that other people are going to be pissed off about. They're not going to agree with it. Maybe you have a lifestyle that people don't think you should be living, right? Maybe they have a problem with the way you live in your life. Excuse me, y'all. My goodness. Um, but do it anyway. Because if your life is not directly affecting them, then why would they have something to say? That's so weird, y'all, the way my voice is acting up. Not my throat chakra. So, excuse me, y'all. You gonna have to live your life your way. And it's some folks that are not going to like that. It's some folks that are gonna be like, oh my gosh. And again, I'm going into a season where I know that what I do is unorthodox, but drop this in the chat. God is good with me. And it's why he's making us understand all these people are called this, that, and the third pagan and all of that. And that's cool. You have your beliefs, but sometimes it's an understanding that God will give. It's like the same folks, right, that will call you out for doing something may not even realize you more in service to God than they are. Anyway, I hope, and this is not, it's not a pissing contest to see who's serving God more or better. We not on that. But if you, it's like, man, thank God it's not my assignment to go be trying to tell folks, oh, well, you not of the Lord. Well, go talk to God about it. Long as God good with me, I don't give a. I was. Did I meet my quota? How many cuss words I said today, baby? I ain't got time. And I understand why the Lord is moving, is talking about this. Good morning, Zen. Good morning, Marianne. Good morning, Barb. Good morning, y'all. Because the Lord is getting ready to send you into some new territory. So going back to what the person that his name is Chris, y'all. The man that I met yesterday. Shout out, Chris. More to come on that. When he said don't compromise, like I said, it stuck with me. I was like, huh, compromise. The Lord say, because where you finna get ready to go is finna be some folks that's gonna be like, what? Or they'll try to make you compromise and go back on some stuff that you said you weren't gonna do. Can I just tell y'all that happened? I ain't even mentioned this, but can I tell y'all that happened last week 2 different times? Let me say it one time, 3 times for the people in the back. Number 1, no, I don't do personal coaching. Don't. No, I don't do personal readings. Why? Because I coach collectively 5 days a week. And that's not what I choose to do. I would much rather help multiple people at one time than one person at a time. You understand? I don't know how much more to give. And that's my talk with the Lord. It's like, well, Lord, I would rather help all the people at one time versus trying to give individual knowledge. Because I promise you, you can go back through my YouTube, through all the years I've been on here, you're going to find something for you. Just like you do any other time you stop on something, it's like, oh, that catches your attention. When the Lord, whatever the Lord wants to give you, he gonna make sure you see it, right? So in overhearing things, and I'm not, you won't get me like that. I said, somebody dropped this in the chat. I said what I said. You won't get me like that. I'm not. One thing about living in the kingdom, baby, we not hard up for finances. We you no. You can't get me like that, right? But it's like the way that it happened was, it made me, even now as the Lord's revealing it, it made me understand that there are going to be people who are going to try to pressure you into doing, man, come on, Lord, to do things that you have already said 10 toes down, I'm not doing it. And I don't care what kind of assistance. This is what, come on, Lord, this is where, for some of you, this is where you're going to have to stand 10 toes down. And that's why you have to know who you are. You have to know your assignment. It made me understand compromising, because if I said I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it. And I don't care. There will be people who will say, well, you can make more money this way. You can, this. I'm not here doing this for money. Do you understand that? And this is the gift. This is the blessing that the Lord has allowed me to do. This is not for money. I don't get paid to do this. I don't get paid to come up and do Bible study, y'all. Like, and it's still a full-time job. So for some of you, it's the importance of knowing that you ain't doing this for money. And I got everything that God gives me as far as revelation, he gives it for free. So when people say, why don't you do personal readings? Because God gives to me freely. So freely I give. Ain't that the instruction? Now everybody don't feel like that, and that is okay. But I'm not going to pimp the gift, because I love being in service to the Lord. Man, I hope that makes sense to somebody. Compromise. So you got to know what you stand on, no matter what somebody tells you. I don't give a damn how much money I can make from. I know my gift, and trust and believe I used to be there. I used to do personal readings. There's some folks on here who didn't have them. I have done personal coaching. But baby, listen at me. If you want to listen, you never know. You might buy some cosmetics from Touche Cosmetics and get just the words you need. You want to support a small business, by all means, boo-boo. You can support. But this, no, this, we talked about first fruits, right? This belongs to the Lord. Know what you stand on. Okay. I don't know who else needed that message besides me, because the Lord is getting ready to put you in places and spaces as there are people, and I don't even know what's coming, y'all. The Lord ain't shared that with me. It's just things, a couple of things that have happened over the progression of this week that I'm just like, well, Lord. He say, oh, it's because I'm getting ready to send you somewhere, and people are going to try to convince you, or they going to try to tempt you. And he's like, you just got to know what you stand on. Okay. I stand on that. I hope that makes sense to somebody. Let's get some clarity out here. My God, I don't be having no understanding. Then I get up here and the Lord be like, hey, this was why. And then I got to tell y'all, because I don't tracking the other part of that, man. Y'all just wait, because y'all will see it on tomorrow. I'll go ahead and tell y'all I won't be on at 6 a.m. in the morning, but I will be on. Okay. I won't be on at 6, but I will be on. So make sure you turn your notifications on so you're notified anytime I go live or post a video, because I will be on tomorrow. I'll just be on a little later than usual. Okay. Man, look, I ain't no play about the Lord now. Well, I play about a lot of stuff, but this, no, this ain't one of them. That's why the Lord say you got to know who you are before I send you where you're going. Okay. Message. Now look, for those of you who was on the show, y'all already know this. We had this card just the other day, and y'all done seen how much I done shuffled these cards, y'all. You just can't make this up. Action is key to getting where you need to go. You can't wait around. Take a step in any direction. I'm telling you right now, if somebody finna move. Hello, y'all will see it. Stay tuned. You getting ready to take a step, and that step, man, I don't even know. I can't even explain it to y'all yet, because I know we're going to be talking about it in Faith and Flow for Finances. The Lord gave me something this morning, and it's the importance of these obedient steps that you're taking. Man, look here. You finna take a step that is going to unlock your life. Anyway, we stepping into it. Okay, we stepping into it. I hope that made sense to somebody. Let's see what else is out here. Maybe some of you already took the step. Maybe you already did what was necessary for you to do. Man, look, ain't nothing like, now y'all, let me make sure I'm not tripping. One second. You can't, who did anybody subscribe? Did anybody read the Kingdom Clarity newsletter on yesterday? Anybody? Anyone? Hold on, y'all. Cause I got to be tripping. Let me check my phone. Uno momento. What was yesterday? The third. This how you know the Lord said what he said. Wait a minute. Let me find it. Somebody, if you read the Kingdom Clarity newsletter on yesterday, we had a card that literally talked about the clarity. Okay, let me explain this. Somebody, you finna be very clear about the step that you need to take. And then what the Lord is going to do, he's going to confirmational what you're supposed to be, that you took the right step. Does this make sense to somebody? Some of you, and this could have been within this last week, it could have been as quick as it was. I talked about on yesterday how over the weekend, if you're not sitting down with the Lord and having a conversation with the Lord about direction, you sleep, because he's trying to give you the step. This is for those of you who are taking action on the things that the Lord is telling you to do. Right? Yesterday's card, Kingdom card of the day, was the What's the Clarity card. from the message deck, y'all. Today, the clarity is real. Man, drop some diamonds in the chat. This talks about psychic abilities, divine instructions, inner wisdom, and trusting your intuition. Some of you, it's almost like going from a period of confusion to clarity. You gonna take one step and it's getting ready to almost unlock your destiny. Does that make sense? Man, I don't want to go all the way into this. For some of you, it's an understanding. Man, come on, God. Identity before income. Do you know who you are? Identity before income. Do you know who you are? Right? I'm a diamond, period. Mint it. Okay. Y'all, it's a card on the floor from when I was shuffling this morning. Let me get it. Hold on. I ain't want to forget. Nah. Y'all think I'm playing. I'm gonna show y'all. This one was face down, so I'm gonna show y'all that. But now these been shuffled up good, right? And these are the only two cards that are really face up. All the rest of them are face down. And then we're gonna look at this one that was on the floor, face down. All right, now the Lovers and 336, which we also had the other day as well. You have a higher calling on your life, spiritual teacher, crossroads, decisions, right? Being in the midst of that. That's my grandmama, papa. So hey, y'all, come on, protection. That as well. What is this? Oh, we have chocolate that's coming out next. This is perfection, do the right things, doing things right. This is indulgence. Can I tell somebody your lifestyle finna upgrade? You ain't got to believe me if you don't want to, but it's almost like because of the fact that you are unlocking or stepping into your new identity, your standards are going to change. Now, there's a fella, I'm not going to say his name, but there's a fella that um that I see some of his videos on TikTok, and I like him, and I was like, oh, okay, but let me just say this to somebody. Thank God for God that I am who I am, right? Some of you, your lifestyle is getting ready to change. So we going somewhere with this, right? Your lifestyle is getting ready to change. That doesn't mean look down on folks because the Lord has elevated your lifestyle. Does that make sense? I thank God that's why he'll get your heart in alignment. I thank God that I am who I am. This is why he will build in gratitude. He will teach you about gratitude before he blesses you with resources. This is what, it's like he has those things where he builds your character, where he, makes you a person of integrity before the money even comes, before the influence comes. We talked about this because yesterday we talked about the stages of increase, right? So it's like for many of you, the Lord is saying, hey, I'm getting ready to upgrade you. But before I do that, and some of y'all ain't there yet. For some of you at the stage where the Lord gonna get your heart all the way right before he blesses you with the impact, the influence, the character. Before he gives you any of that, he got to get your morals together. You got to be grateful. You got to learn how to worship. You got to be thankful for the experiences. All of these things he will do before he gives you the increase. And in addition to that, you got to know who you are before you can really become who you're becoming. And understanding that identity shifts. I hope this makes sense. This morning he showed me Paul on the road he was on the road to Damascus, and it's like there was an identity shift that happened for Paul just that quick. So again, it goes back to where he had us in the beginning. It's like, okay, look, two things can be right at the same time. You don't have to just be one thing, but it's also knowing, if nothing else, drop it in the chat, I'm a believer. It's like that kind of pureness. I hope that makes sense. Is you got to know that before any of this other increase comes. You got to know that part. Like, man, message, I'm a believer. I may not know some other stuff, and I don't know everything that God is gonna do for me, but I'm a believer. He's done enough to show us that part, and we should at least know that part of ourselves. I hope that makes sense. Message, we have faith. This coming in next, your faith is the water that makes your dreams grow. Again, we've been talking about taking leaps of faith, stepping out on faith. We gonna see what else is coming up with this. Come on and adjust your lifestyle. What is your faith bringing in for you? Those are mustard seeds on there. Okay, here we go. Now listen, y'all. Am I tripping? Or did we talk about dreams to reality yesterday? Oh, I should have just pulled the card because I have the card from yesterday. This was the kingdom card of the day for yesterday that literally says almost the same thing that the clarity is real card says. Psychic, witchcraft, tarot, seer, prophet, and this says psychic abilities, divine instructions, inner wisdom, trust your intuition. That's not where I'm going with that. Did we have yesterday? We had the roses. Who getting wined and dined? Oh, message. Who's finna get wined and dined? Let me show you. I'm gonna come back to that in a second. Somebody finna get wined and dined. Okay, but that's not where I was going. Hold on. I need a specific card because I thought I was tripping. I'm not. Somebody finna start living a dream. Let me show you how. We're coming back to wind and dine in a second. Yesterday we had dreams to reality. Today we have dreaming. Same energy, different day. Okay. Pay attention to your dreams, seeing beyond present reality, pursuing your dreams. Okay. I don't know what else to say about the Lord trying to say, hey, I'm trying to show you how to start living the life you want, deserve, and desire. Trying to get a little bit of help. Yes, some of you, your dreams may be important. I had a couple weird dreams. One of them was real weird. I didn't talk about it. Who's a dream interpreter? Y'all, what this mean? I wrote it. This was over the weekend. Let me make sure it ain't too bad. I did. Some of y'all might be having weird dreams. Child, I just remembered this dream. I kind of remember it, but I had to. Okay. I had a dream on the second. And in the dream, oh, I forgot to talk about this. My God in heaven. The enemy has been caught. How y'all where was y'all's antennas? Y'all ain't said nothing. The enemy has been caught. Let me tell y'all. So I'm gonna read y'all what I wrote, right? And this was on the second. I had a dream that someone had been caught. The dream was kind of in two parts. The first part, I was driving somewhere. I don't know who was with me, and I pulled off to the side of the road. But while we were stopped, the popos pulled up and ended up shooting someone, but I couldn't see who. But I was ducked down. I can remember it now. I was ducked down behind this car, right? And y'all, when the popos, it was like they shot one person or shot something because I don't even think it was a person. They shot something, and then it was another something that they were having to carry away, right? But when I tell y'all whatever this was that they was trying to carry away, it was kicking and screaming and fighting, and it took like a whole bunch of the popo. Come on, protection, angels. Let's talk about. Here we go, man. It took a whole bunch of. It was police, but they were like police angels. I hope that makes sense. And they were holding this thing and dragging it away. I'm still ducked down behind the car. And when it was coming by me, I remember turning my face so that it couldn't see my face, right? And it was struggling. It took a whole bunch of them to get the thing away. And I turned my face from it because I didn't want it to see my face. When I woke up, I heard the enemy has been caught. And I got the number. It was 828. And then I also got Proverbs 6 and 31. The thief must pay back 7 times what he stole. And so I guess this was over the weekend, so y'all wouldn't have told y'all this. The kingdom requires restoration. Once the thief is caught, restoration must be made. Grace does not eliminate responsibility. God is merciful, but he is just. God understands our circumstances, but he also calls us to walk in righteousness. Restoration is part of redemption. Y'all, somebody finna get back sevenfold. 7 represents completion. Maybe that's the 0000 I got that the Lord woke me up with this morning as well. Integrity has a cost. Doing what's right may be costly, but obedience is always worth more than protecting temporary possessions. Anyway, I hope that made sense to somebody. Pay attention to your dreams, because the Lord may be speaking to you through your dreams, letting you know, number one, that this is protection, right? Because again, these were angels in my dreams, but you know how your mind will interpret something in the way you need to interpret it. So I was interpreting the angels as police officers carrying away some kind of thief or criminal or whatever. And over the weekend, the Lord was talking to me about how the enemy, for some of us, has been trying to steal ideas, has been trying to steal momentum, has been trying to keep your creativity like at a minimum. And that's why it's so important to follow those instinctive nudges that you receive when the Lord give you something, even if it doesn't make sense, because you never know what's waiting on the other side of that step. For many of us, you may have felt like, thank y'all, that you were in a fog, and maybe you felt like your creativity wasn't flowing the way it normally would. And all of a sudden, it's just like you're going to snap out of it and things are going to shift. And you're going to start seeing different. You're going to be unafraid to go after your dreams. I hope that made sense to somebody. Pay attention to what you're receiving, because the Lord is showing you what's coming next, right? You may be receiving some inspired action from that. Beginnings, okay? Beginnings. Y'all, kid you not, butterflies may be significant for someone. I'm going to tell you why. Once I released these videos that I recorded yesterday, while I was driving, y'all, I happened to look up, there was a tree, and I saw, man, God is good. Can we just one time for the one time give God the glory? Man, God is good. He'll be just confirmation and some stuff. But the way that the leaves were, as I was riding under them, I was like, oh, that looks like a butterfly. I just so happened to be recording at the time. So fast forward, I went and did what I had to do on yesterday. As I'm driving, and this ain't the first time I done went this way, I see it's kind of ducked off, but there was a butterfly on this building that I passed by. And I was just like, and this is yesterday, y'all. I was just like, look at that butterfly. So for some of you, it's almost like an emerging season that you're coming into, right? A new season, rebirth, transmutation, transformation. Okay. Let's clarity these message and see what else is coming out, y'all. Because for some of you, it's like you don't even understand like what following these steps is going to unlock for you. It's like you, the butterfly coming out of the chrysalis, right? I had butterflies around me while I was doing yard work this past weekend. Listen, butterflies are not really my spirit animal, but I literally, the fact that it came up today is just like, okay, Lord, I'm tracking. So there may be something specific that, for you, y'all. If y'all knew, now I did this video. You can go watch it on my TikTok. I put it everywhere. And on the video, this card was on the floor. Something significant is getting ready to happen. In that video, number one, what I showed was how I shuffle my cards, right? That's number one. Number two, that was the same video that the Lord that we got yesterday popped up in. Revelation on a step that needs to be taken. Revelation. People, what is my step? Honey, I don't know, because I don't know your assignment. And it's not for me to know. This why you got to go sit down with the Lord. This why you got to get in the word. Do you understand, man? Do you understand that you'll get in this Bible and all of a sudden, like I just told y'all, one sentence will turn into a whole conversation with God? This is why you need to understand that you don't need me, come on, Lord, or any psychic, any medium, any spiritist. I don't care what you want to call, who you want to call them. You don't need a tarot reader. You don't need any of those people to get wisdom from God. You simply have to allow him to give it to you. People, how dare you do that? Because you don't need a middleman. We have one. His name is Jesus. I don't know how else to say that. I'm sorry for those of you who are not believers. Listen, I understand that God also reveals himself in different ways. Let me say it with your chest. Listen at me. For me in my life, as for me in my house, we will serve the Lord. I didn't try a whole lot of things. I am a believer, but that doesn't mean that God don't show up however him want to show up. Does that make sense to somebody? Who am I to say that somebody else can't experience God a different way based upon what they believe? That's what they did in the Bible. They believed in the sacrificing of the animals. Okay? So before you go judging somebody and saying, oh, it's this, that, and the third, are we still serving the same God? Baby, I'm not here for that. Okay? So for some of you, maybe that's the first time, and maybe ain't nobody never told you, like, baby, your way may not be the only way. God can show up however he wants to. He can show up in a butterfly if that's how somebody is willing to receive him. Man, listen now, because who? Revelation. Don't be judging folks for how the Lord connects with them. Because understand now, let me say this for the people and them in the back. You realize that the reason the Lord doing something, a new thing, didn't we have that on yesterday, is because the old things ain't working. People ain't believing. There's distrust in places that we should be having trust in. I said what I said. So why the Lord got to do some new stuff so that people will remember who he is? I mean this respectfully. But the church as a people, not as a, you know, like a specific place, it's some things that got to be straightened out. We all have to receive that, right? That's us. So don't get in your spirituals about the fact that the Lord is doing some new things. He has to. How else is he going to reach the people? I hope that makes sense to somebody. Anyway, Revelation and Tower. Okay. So for many of us, because I'm gonna say us, because we over here getting instructions. The Lord's going to give us some revelation about what's coming next, what steps to take, and how this is going to unlock the next level for you. Okay. Victim mindset. Victim mindset. We talked about this yesterday. Decreased awareness of personal power, excessive belief that the world is acting against you, increased sensitivity. Who's sensitive? And searching the environment to detect threat, blame, denial, or personal responsibility. Again, y'all understanding that the Lord ain't never told, he never wanted us here. Okay. So for many of us, what this revelation is going to do is set you free. You're going to start to understand what the whole goal of what the Lord was trying to do in the whole first place. Give us freedom, make us understand our power and our authority and how we're supposed to operate in the kingdom. I hope that makes sense. For some of you, there's something, this idea, it's almost like it's going to, this is giving like Five of Pentacles energy, right? Where it's almost going to break you out of a mindset that has been keeping you stuck, keeping you held down, keeping you from moving forward, keeping you scared, afraid, keeping you in the dark. You are not a victim. You have the victory. Drop that in the chat. I got the victory. We can't keep operating in this energy. For some of us, this is overcoming a fear that we've had. Maybe it's a fear of being seen. Maybe it's a fear of lack. I don't know. A poverty mindset, honey. Whatever this is, you getting ready to take a step that's going to bring you out of whatever this is that has been keeping you bound, stuck, holding you back. I've been telling y'all, the Lord been heavy on showing us things that you don't even realize will keep you stuck, things that you don't even realize are actually tactics of the enemy that, man, that will keep you from moving forward. I hope that makes sense to somebody. We breaking out of these mindsets, y'all. You have to, in order to start to really live the life that God desires for you. Okay. I love myself, my man, God's chessboard. I love myself, my body, my mind, my flaws. I love everything about me. I literally wrote that in my notes. Man, didn't I say under the microscope? When was I talking to y'all about that? It's almost like you being critiqued in some way. It's almost like you being critiqued in some way. But let me just say which because I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Let me say this to somebody. Why is this? Why are we? Because I feel like the Lord literally sometimes, Lord, it feels like the Lord just be like, listen, I don't know. There's not a, we talked about a comparison, right? Everybody's gift doesn't work the same, just like everybody's body is not shaped the same. Everybody experience is not the same. This is about how you see yourself, right? Irregardless of how other people see you. There, let me just, what y'all mean? Talking about like, did we talk about this the other day? They're talking about the word psychic. Okay. We talked about this on whatever day this was, must have been Friday. And I told y'all, I said, I'm not a psychic and I will not claim to be. And I don't want that gift. Shout out to those of you who have it. I'm good. I don't want to know what Brenda got going on in her mind. That's her business. That's her confidence. I've said this so many times. um you can be proud of your gift and that's cool. Shout out to you. I said this in regards to mediums, right? I don't talk to the dead. I don't want to associate with the dead. Everybody that I speak with has eternal life. So if you're going to use your gift, just use it for the right reason and the right purpose. But you can't, one thing that I know about the Lord is you cannot compare your gift to someone else's gift, because the Lord is not using. The Lord may be, you may, you may or may not be using your gifts the same as someone else. Okay. I don't know why this is important for somebody to know. Hey, you do you, you just do you. I'm gonna do me, right? Just because your gift doesn't operate the same as someone else's does not mean that it's wrong. You understand? So, for those of you, man, who have made a habit of trying to compare, there's really no comparison because everybody's gift is their own. I hope that makes sense to somebody. Are y'all done? Because OMG, um, it's on, what y'all mean, like a testing? Maybe, okay, I'm tracking. Maybe it's like for some of you, it's like people who continue to keep trying to test your gift over and over and over and over because they think that your gift is supposed to be the gift that they have, but it's not. God ain't even using them. Man, come on, Lord. This how you know the difference. Because if your, man, I gotta chill. Because if your assignment is to let me go test your might, let me go test somebody's gift, then we clearly already ain't on the same type of time. Does that make sense? Because God is not testing the gifts that he has already given. Does that make sense? That's how you know that you will know them by their fruit. If you are using your gift to try to test the strength of somebody else's gift, then you're already moving differently than what, because God is not sending you to test something that he has already given to somebody. Does that make sense? He he not, why does he need somebody else to test you? That's why you got to know who you are. I hope that makes sense to somebody. Some of you are going to encounter, have these types of experiences where people are going to try to determine who you are based upon their understanding of what gifting is. This why you got to know that your gift comes from the Lord and you don't need anybody else to qualify you because God is doing that. Does that make sense to somebody? They gonna try to make you feel small because you don't operate the way they operate, but understand you big in God's eyes. Does that make sense? You don't need any, and baby, it's gonna be folks, they gonna come up. Man, who is this for? You gonna let them talk. Let them have conversations, and I want you to sit there and act like you zip ahead Fred. I want you to sit there and act like you just oblivious, and sit there, baby, and drink your chai tea latte. Okay? Sit there and let them think that the whole conversation went over your head. Sit there and let them think whatever you want to think, because then what the Lord is going to do is be like, I told you. And guess what? There's a difference between people who can hear God and people who don't. You just keep knowing who you listening to. My sheep know my voice. Man, child, because I'm fin to get mad. Anyway, I said what I said. Folks be up. That's what, man, that's why the man look, that's and that leads back to paganism. Because baby, we clearly ain't worshiping the same way. Man, moving on. Some of y'all, maybe you don't have no understanding. And maybe like y'all, this has been years in the making. Random folks walking up reading me. That's cool. Baby, I don't care. You know, the blessing of authenticity and transparency. What you gonna find that I ain't already told? And I'm saying that to those of you who are stepping into that identity of authenticity and transparency. Ain't no skeletons in the closet, honey. Ain't nothing that you can say that's going to make me be like, oh man, I didn't want nobody to know that. You could probably ask me and I'll tell you the truth. Because who has time to lie? And meet me in a trap. It's going down. Next. See, negative money mindset. Taking an L, right? Man, the blessing, this the other thing. Some of you need to take a good look at your finances. Okay, let's just say that we're gonna be talking about that in Faith and Flow. Taking a good look at your finances, knowing where you are right now, but also understanding that even if you ain't got it, it's temporary. Drop that in the chat. It's temporary. Whatever you see right now, whether it's a dream that you're building, a vision that the Lord has given you that has not come to pass yet, it's understanding that this is not the end. Okay, this ain't the end. This is just where you are right now. So this is also the Lord saying, hey, get out of there. Okay, we're not staying in this energy. I'm telling you, right, I don't know who this is for, honey, but it's some folks thought you was gonna keep playing small. What? No. It's also, man, look, it's also some folks that's gonna recognize like, oh, okay, they ain't no play for real. Meant it, because my God ain't no play. Does that make sense to somebody? This is why you got to see yourself the way that God sees you. Not looking at this is not you, because this is not how God sees you. This is how God sees you. Man, I hope that makes sense to somebody. The Lord is saying, hey, I need you to see yourself bigger, better, more evolved. See yourself the way God sees you. Then you start moving the way God needs you to move. Does that make sense? We talked about yesterday knowing your worth, knowing your value, all of those things. This is like the Lord saying, hey, wake up call, newsflash, that ain't even how I see you, right? Love yourself the way the Lord loves you. I hope that makes sense to somebody. The Lord know, yeah, he know what the season you done been through, but even if you took a L, it's temporary, right? The Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady. Be patient, okay? Whatever the Lord is doing. Oh, let me talk about wine and dine real quick, because we have roses and chocolate. The Lord, this is about self-love and self-care and making sure that you're taking care of yourself as well. These are important things that you need to make sure that you're incorporating into your daily practice, into your weekly, monthly. You got to make sure that you are pouring into self. Okay. For some of you, that is going to be so important that even though you finna get real busy, because it feels like you finna get busy, okay, because there are new beginnings on the horizon, dreams are becoming reality. Make sure that you have that worked into your schedule. Okay. Some of you have new relationships that are coming in, whether friendship or platonic. This could be, look, come on, not is this love? Why? Diamonds, roses, and chocolate. Okay. So some of you, this may be the next part of your evolution. This ain't everybody, but this is what the Lord has been preparing you for. So for some of y'all, this is faith. We got faith coming up in the middle of the message today, y'all, where it's just like your faith in your preparation and your belief in yourself, your faith in knowing that God is going to bring your person for you. And he said that to me. He said that to me this morning, where it's just like he didn't make us to be alone. So there's a compliment to you. There's someone, a king to your queen, a queen to your king, what have you, that may be actually the Lord may be moving towards you. Okay. So that's everybody. Some of y'all already married. Congratulations. But for those of you, if that has been, if love is on your bingo card, this is part of what the Lord has been preparing you for as well. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Maybe you had to lose somebody to gain yourself. We talked about that on yesterday, so we're not going to go back into that. Just know it's coming. Okay. We have a 9 of swords that's coming in. This is Peter's guilt, anxiety, and regret. Peter most notably burdened by guilt due to his threefold denial of Jesus before his crucifixion. The 9 of swords, man, it was on my phone yesterday. It's a card of fear. I feel like you done cried all the tears you're gonna cry about something. This ain't for everybody. This is like a healing that it feels like the Lord is doing in regards to whatever this is back here. You may have had something unexpected, an unexpected ending. You had to move, you had to relocate. I just heard eviction. So it may be something where you took a major L. Maybe you had to end a relationship. It could be a divorce. You could have lost a lot of resources, a lot of finances. You could have lost a business, something that you took a major loss or you feel like is a major loss. But understanding, and maybe this is something that still has you in tears, but it's knowing that the Lord, it's why he said there's restoration with redemption, because what he's also doing is what you looked at as a loss, he's making it a gain. Does that, and it's not easy to see that when you're going through the process, right? When you beat it, you got to feel the feels about it. You have to go through the emotions. Do your crying, okay? Cry. You have to go through all of those stages of the process. But when you see why the Lord had to remove it, and as you move through the seasons and see what he's going to replace it with, is so much better. That's the sevenfold. Thank y'all. That's the sevenfold he was talking about in the dream. You finna get back 7 times. Come on, Job. That's what it is, a Job season. Maybe you went through your Job season, right? And you lost everything, whatever this was back here. Maybe you lost yourself. We have the victim mindset card, money, jobs, relationships, friendships, whatever this is. You've learned some serious lessons back here in the past, but what I'm telling you right now, what's coming? It's going to be worth it. I wasn't even supposed to pull that card. You don't understand why you had to go through that season, why you had to take some of those losses, why you had to go through some of those experiences. Man, I wish I would have wrote this down. Psalm 37, 4-6. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit to the Lord, trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. First of all, anytime the sun shows up, that is the Lord. Okay. That's it. That's all. And this is not the tarot deck. This is which one is this? A word in the wilderness. But anytime the Lord shows up, he's like, listen now, if you just keep following me, clarity is coming. What you've been asking for is coming. Staying committed is coming, period. Do it for me, Lord. Do it for me. Right. Because I'm in which I mean, sometimes I think part of our problem is we always want the timing, right? And one of the things that the Lord has taught me more than anything in the last few seasons is timing. It was plenty of days that I begged the Lord to not be homeless, and it didn't happen until I was ready to not be homeless. Not he was ready for me to not be homeless. I was ready to not be homeless. And so we always want to fast forward through our processes. But for some of you, it's again this understanding. If you use a butterfly, and I saw a video where there was a caterpillar going into a chrysalis the other day. Man, somebody finna come out. It's like we want it when we want it. But what has to be rebuilt reconstructed. What if the Lord gave it to you right now and you ain't ready for it? Would you make the same mistakes? Would you do the same things that you did before? This is how you learn to wait a little differently. Yesterday we talked about the stages, right? For some of you, the Lord is saying, hey, it's like it's a test of your faith to be able to wait, because we spend a lot of our time waiting on the optimal conditions, waiting on things to be just right, waiting on the work that we have to do within ourselves. I don't know why this feels like a get your mind right kind of meeting today, but it feels like the Lord is saying, hey, for those of you, it's like, listen, I got to make sure that you're ready for what's coming. Because if I give it to you before you're ready, you gonna mess it up. You and I don't want to mess it up. So this is like, maybe you crying like, Lord, I'm tired. Win, Lord, win, because we want the win. And the Lord is saying, when you're ready for it, sometimes it's just a mindset. Sometimes it's a you believing you can have it and then actually receiving it. I hope that makes sense to somebody. Maybe you got to see yourself, man. Maybe you got to see yourself with this, as this. Come on, identity before the increase. If you can't see yourself as nothing but poor, broken, struggling, then how you want the Lord to bless that? If that's all you think that you deserve, if that's all you think you worthy of, if you don't see yourself as having a better life, then how he gonna give it to you? I hope that makes sense. It's like yesterday the Lord said it's praying, believing that it's already done, and then you can receive it. I hope that makes sense to somebody. The desires of your heart, and not being ashamed of what. That's why he led with that. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Does that make, man, that's why the Lord led with that this morning. Because if this is what you are, if you feel like you a victim, then you're going to keep attracting things that make you feel like a victim. Does that make sense? If you so I don't, man, if you keep thinking that you're only supposed to have a certain type of man or woman, you're going to keep attracting that. Or sometimes the Lord will set you down somewhere and let you do some work on yourself, and then you start to see yourself, thank y'all, the way that God sees you. Then you stop attracting the same types of things. Does that make sense? That's part of what happens in the wait. You start to value yourself, love yourself. You stop. We talked about shame yesterday. You're not focused on what you did, how, oh, I messed up so bad. The Lord say, yeah, I wiped out all of that. I know what you did. I was there when you did it. Okay, cool. You did it. You done cried your cries. You done felt your felts. Now what? See yourself the way God sees you. When you start seeing yourself as the person that you want to become, man, the Lord was heavy on this morning. You start taking steps that align with that identity. Does that make sense? I don't know how else to put it. Until then, who finna get fired? And I don't mean, and I'm like, it's almost like maybe come the enemy. We receive that. Goodbye to the old. What I'm telling y'all right now, this whole message, I don't never know what the Lord gonna talk about. But when he come in talking about pink slips, taking an L, recovering from loss, letting go, the Lord say, hey, the old is done. See, I'm doing a new thing. Do you not perceive it? Perceive it. Some of y'all, you're also, man, which I mean, like, it's okay to change. It's okay to want something different. It's okay to not want to keep living the same life. You are not required to do what other people tell you or think that you're supposed to do. Part of y'all some of y'all gonna be letting that go. You've been living a life that somebody else wants you to live, which means you're not living the life that, number one, you want to live, but number two, that God wants you to live. So for some of you, it's almost like, come on, pink slip. It's like that's over it. No, I got to live the life, and that's going, that man who's at the, somebody feels like at the beginning of this journey. Some of y'all might be going through this right now where you're literally saying goodbye to the old because that old no longer serves you. It's some of y'all may go to sleep and wake up and be like a whole different person the next day. And you ain't got to go tell everybody because they're not going to understand the shift that has happened. But it's just you saying goodbye to a season that no longer serves you, that has served its purpose. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Speaking of recovering from loss, for some of you, this, remember we talked about this step, you're going to take a step and then you going to start like unlocking your new life. Goodbye to the old, hello to the new. I hope that makes sense to somebody. What else, Lord? Because I don't be knowing. I don't be having a clue. Whatever the Lord wants to talk about, that's what we gonna talk about. That's what we gonna talk about. Divine intervention. Okay. Destiny helpers, benefactors, alignment at the crossroads. At the crossroads. It's decision time. What you gonna do? Okay. Now, let me also, so I heard this yesterday. It's amazing how the Lord, it'd be something random that I might just roll past and then he'll be like, and then it'll just come back. Let's talk about alignment. Because I wanted to be very clear that the desires of your heart, oh honey, you got to get in alignment with them. Y'all know we talk a lot about alignment, divine alignment, Matthew 6:33 on one of my cars. Look at my, now y'all, I wish I could take y'all with me. I wish I could take y'all with me, but I can't. I just so happen to look over at the box, y'all. I'm finna show y'all what I can see. The only part, that's my mama. This the only part that I could see sticking out. Didn't I? Listen now. Here come the Lord. Jesus, illumination, clarity. Somebody finna have some divine intervention. Okay? This may be the Lord showing up for you in a mighty and a miraculous way. Come on, 713. Hey, man, it's a lot of y'all. What y'all? Hey, y'all. It's a lot of y'all. I'm talking about family. This is generational. My mama, her brother, her mama, her daddy. There's getting ready to be some divine intervention that's getting ready to happen in your life. And this is orchestrated. This ain't something that you could have fabricated. You couldn't have created this. You couldn't have done it. This is the Lord. This could be a rescue. Some of you, this is like a dream, something that is going to, I don't even know. It's almost like mind blowing the way the Lord is showing this to me, y'all. This could be, it's almost like somebody getting y'all, which they just started singing Lose Yourself by Eminem, but they show they're talking about the part where it's like you only get one shot. It feels like somebody's finna get a once in a lifetime opportunity, money attached to it. But it's almost like someone, which I mean, like obedience, it's almost like it's somebody else's destiny. Everybody ain't meant to help you. Yeah, everybody ain't meant to help you, but it's almost like you receiving some help from somewhere unexpected, but it's because that person was part of their destiny is to help you. And it could be just, it doesn't have to be like someone huge, big, famous, nothing like that. It could just be someone giving you an answer, wisdom, an opportunity that may open a door for you. Is something like that. There's something that's getting ready, almost feels like it's getting ready to be put right in front of you. Thank y'all. But it's a catalyst to this new beginning. Does that make sense? Because this is coming up. This is clarity. Okay. This is clarity, the dreams to reality and the dreaming card, right? So it's almost like the Lord is getting ready to put something in front of you, but you're going to have to choose it. But you're already taking the steps with confirmation. It's like you're already taking the steps to align yourself with this opportunity. It's like you're already en route to it, because back here we already started taking the steps. Does that make sense? um you're already aligning yourself with it. I hope that makes sense. So just be prepared. I don't know, somebody who's destined to help you, and this is someone, it's almost like the Lord putting something on your path that you gonna know. You gonna know. I don't know. I heard choose the right. I don't know if that makes sense to somebody, but it's like choose the right. What else, Lord? I'm fit. This it. I look. I know we early, and we not even here yet. Look at the birth, cardinal, new beginnings. All right, fresh start, continuing the legacy, purity, new phase, new season, rebirth, transmutation, transcend. I don't know what else to say, right? Unto us a child is born. And I don't know. Okay. But this is like the Lord saying, hey, I'm finna give you an opportunity to live your dream. Are you gonna have the courage to take the step? Right? Remember, y'all, they hadn't seen that yet. So y'all hadn't seen it yet. But this is something the Lord even told me on yesterday. The Lord may give you an idea. Some of you, this could be family. This could be a little hunty one-tea. Okay. If you can still have children. Otherwise, if you don't want one, wrap it before you tap it. Some of y'all finna give birth. It's almost like a rebirth of you as well. Mm. I don't know. We finna see what else with this new beginnings. I don't know what else to say about that, about other than the Lord is saying, hey, can you be patient and wait on this? Can you be like, some of you praying for a fresh start? Almost, I don't even know how to describe this, y'all. It almost feels like it's like the Lord is giving, he's giving bits and pieces of a story. And I don't know if I can make this make sense. It almost feels like for some of you, it feels like a stop and start kind of energy. It almost maybe you have felt disconnected, because it almost feels disconnected. Thank y'all. But it was what the Lord said in the very beginning, to where no, every piece is important. Everything that has happened, even when the steps and the pieces didn't feel like they fit together in this puzzle, they actually did. And so it's almost like all of this was preparation for this new beginning that's happening. And maybe you are just, didn't we say this in the beginning? You're finally starting to make all the pieces fit, or you're actually able to see how the pieces fit together versus feeling like the pieces are all scattered. If it that's how this energy has felt today. It feels scattered. It feels like you're trying to sometimes make a piece fit where it doesn't fit, or it's like, and we all go through that, where you don't always know the next step, but you still step out on faith. You still trusting, you still believing, you keep building the dream, you keep moving towards the vision. And it's like the Lord saying, you're finally getting ready to see the full picture. Thank y'all. You finally getting ready to see the full picture, and how everything is working together for your good. I don't know how else to explain that. I don't know. It just felt like this whole message has felt disconnected and not at the same time. It's like understanding, but then it's just like, okay, but that part don't go right there. So you want me to just jump from here to there? Yeah. It feels like you kind of been, okay, trying to figure it out. And it's like the Lord giving you a piece here and a piece there, but that's prophecy. He never gives us the whole thing. It's like a piece here and a piece there, but being able to piece the things together to make a cohesive story, or to finally just see how the story's coming together. Message. I don't know, because this ain't even where I thought we was going on today, y'all. But this is how this whole message has felt today. Disconnected and not. It's like the Lord putting a little bass in him, spirituals. Then he's just like, okay, but I love you, but I got to tell you this because you need to know. And I hope it makes sense. It probably don't, because it feels a little scattered today, and I can't really even explain it, but that's how it feels. But sometimes that's the way it is when you're rebuilding with the Lord anyway. It doesn't always feel like everything goes together until everything starts going together. Sacred alchemy, okay? Union with the divine, creating a life of magical process. Thank y'all of creation. Because listen at me. I'm thank you, Lord, for helping me to get through it. Come on, the eyes to see, helping me, because it feels like this is a tearing down, man, a tearing down and a rebuilding. For some of you, this is the way like the Lord has had to, he's having to change your mindset and the way that you think about things. He's having to reorganize. Maybe you thought you needed to do step 10, but that's actually step 2. I don't know. But whatever the things that he's showing you, he's strengthening your discernment. He's strengthening your ability to listen to him. He's helping you to, he's conditioning, come on, Lord, he's conditioning your faith. He's still at the heart of all of this, trying to give you exactly what you've been asking for. That part has not changed. The only thing that changes is how did y'all just say that? Him still needing to be at the center of it. For some of you, it's like all of this is still, man, come on, God. All of this is still surrounding God. I don't know how else to say that, y'all. All of this, he's coming up in the center of the message, right? To where even going back to Leviticus 17, it's all about how you worship. Whatever is going on in your life, keep God at the center. Keep him at the forefront. And remember that even through, because that, thank y'all, that feels like the word for today, chaotic. This message, beyond any message that I think I've given in a long time, feels chaotic, y'all. It feels, I don't even know how to describe that. It just feels, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is stressing me out. Because it feels chaotic. It feels, I don't know if you're experiencing chaos. I don't know if you're trying to focus on too much. Thank God for God that I don't have to try to I'm not here to try to figure it out, but keep God at the center and you're going to be all right. It may feel like chaos is going on all around you. But this is where he going to give you that peace that transcends understanding. People ain't going to understand why you at peace, because you still over here staying focused. Keep your eyes on the Lord. Thank y'all. Keep your eyes on the Lord, because it may be just a lot of moving parts, a lot of pieces, a lot of things. And it's like, don't rush to try to make the pieces fit. The puzzle's going to come together when the puzzle comes together. This feels like that. I don't know how else to say that. OMG. But all of this is a cycle that's moving towards a new beginning. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I ain't really got nothing else. Baby, the way this message, this one of them, Lord, we done. Let me just tell somebody. I no, because no, let me put them up, honey. Love you, honey, Winnie. Let me just tell y'all. I got I have peace. I do. I don't have a lot of chaos in my life, my God, in heaven. But I can remember when my life was just like that. Man, I can remember when can I do another message? Yeah, because listen, whoever going through this part of life right now, baby, we done all been there. Okay. We done all been through the chaos. Some of us have experienced more chaos than others. But just know that this is temporary. Okay. Keep your eyes focused on the Lord. That is going to be so important for this next season of your life. I still got time. We finna see what else the Lord want to talk about, because that ain't everybody. Some them you may have gotten something out of that, but that message felt so specific. It y'all, man, I understand what it feels like to just feel like some of y'all, you done tried so many things. You just feel like it's just confusion. Man, you finna get some clarity. Let's get some clarity, Lord, and see what else is coming out. And you going through an awakening. I can't make this up. The tearing down Dark night of the soul. Realizing, understanding something. Thank y'all for the revelation. Because listen, y'all, a call to higher consciousness, newfound awareness. That's exactly what it feels like, going through a dark night of the soul where everything is not working, stuff don't make sense, you ain't got no understanding, it feel like life is lifing on every side. My God in heaven. So the Lord is here saying you're going through this, could be a spiritual awakening. This is him raising your level of consciousness as well. So just it's understanding what you're going through, okay? Because somebody might be like, I don't even understand. I don't even know what's happening. What even is happening, right? You start feeling like that because everything feels like it's falling apart right before it comes together. Man, I hope that makes sense to somebody. Some of you are going through a portion of your an experience in your life, and we all go through it, where everything seems like it's falling apart. Things that you thought were going to go work out the way you thought, they don't know, because then the Lord will come in and change your plans. It's and you can't, man, listen. I hope that makes sense to somebody. You may be going through a spiritual awakening. That's not for everybody, but when the Lord is redesigning your life, um, man, feels like everything is falling apart. Okay. Touche, tell me who suffered the most on earth, us black people or some fairy tale? I listen, why do we have to compare suffering? And people may not want to hear that, right? I don't put a color on Jesus, God, gender, any of that. Okay. So I'm not here to answer that question. I'm not here because I feel like that's one of those things where it's just like, oh, that's just a distraction. You'd be more focused on, well, we suffered more. Well, we suffered more. Well, if we keep so focusing on the suffering, then nobody's healing. If that's what we want to, because I'm not here for that. So I don't really have an answer to that. Because I'm not here. I feel like this is not a suffering contest. It's like, who suffered more? Who cares? We all, if we're here now, we have an opportunity to fix it. So fix it instead of focusing on trying to put blame on who did what and why. We have enough of that. That's why we have the stuff we're going through now is because of that. Love my people, love us, but that's that. Then we just have a victim mindset. That's part of why a lot of us are stuck the way that we stuck. Because message, because we be more focused on who did it and why and what they did, and it keeps us stuck right here. And guess what? That's right where the enemy wants us. No, I'm not with that. They won't let me. They don't have to let you. You choose. If you choose, look, the only limits you put on is the only limits you face are the limits you put on yourself. I hope that makes sense to somebody. So it's just like, no, we're not on that. Mm-mm. Look, I hope that makes sense to somebody. This is it. I'm not even gonna do no more messages. Look, Ace of Wands, the burning bush, inspiration and purpose. Okay. This refers to the miraculous event where Moses, this is that spark, man. This is where Moses, while tending sheep in the wilderness, encounters a bush. What the Lord say? He said, I am that I am. I am that I am. We ending on that. That's it. That's all. I don't even have nothing else. The Ace of Wands is inspiration. The Ace of the Lord is getting ready to remove some limits as well. Maybe you have felt, man, come on, God. The Lord is getting ready to remove some limits off of your life, some limitations, some things. Remember, we just talked about the things that can hold us back. Sometimes it's a mindset. Okay, as you come out of this awakening, it's seeing with different eyes. So I hope somebody understands that. You may have somebody might get ready to have. I'm telling you, a divine encounter, with the Lord. Okay. This is also an awakening inspiration. This is spirit. The Ace of Wands is the spirit card for me. Divine power and the importance of obedience to God's call. So for some of you, this feels like maybe it's an explanation of why you have felt like things have just been, everything's up in the air. Nothing, no real clarity. Or I felt like that over the summer where it just felt like a bunch of stuff. It was like, man, I ain't got no answers on nothing, but it feels like you're getting ready to start receiving the answers. This is awareness. Take action. creativity, Ace of Wands, fire energy. Make sure you're taking action. If you have felt sluggish, if you have felt like things were just not moving forward, you finna get some answers. You finna get some results. Okay. You finna get what you need in order to start moving forward. I hope that makes sense to somebody, but you're going to have to take action. There may be something that comes in, and we didn't really get any swords cards out here, but there may be something that comes in that is going to reignite you, is going to re-inspire you. Some of you are going to be picking up on some things that you had put down. If you ain't felt like doing nothing, it's like coming back to self. It's like, okay, I'm back. Like, I don't know how else to say that. It's the Lord lighting a fire up on the ass. Like, it's okay. It's like, okay, look, now you got stuff to do. So you can't just, no, he's requiring us to take new steps, take action. He's requiring us to make moves because there's a life that he's trying to get us to experience, but you're going to have to take action in order to receive it. I hope that makes sense for somebody. Child, look, because listen at me. Child, that was a lot. That's it. That I don't even much know what to say. I don't know. I don't know. Because sometimes when, again, y'all, it almost felt disconnected, but it's just like, I promise you the pieces are coming together. You finna have some understanding. If you've been lacking understanding, you're getting ready to have understanding. You're getting ready to have clarity, because that's what it just felt like, confusion out here today. It's just weird. It just felt like confusion. But you're getting ready to have clarity, and that's what the Lord wants you to know. You don't always understand what God is doing, but until sometimes it'd be like that last minute, you'd be like, oh, that was why. It's going to be one of those moments where things are going to make sense, but it doesn't always make sense as you're going through it. Don't. It doesn't always make sense as you're going through it. Did I say that right? But you're going to have understanding. You're going to get the clarity that you are praying for. So be prepared for that, even if it feels chaotic right now. As the Lord is removing, the plan is always to replace. It's restoration, right? So even if he's in a removing season, a pruning season, whether this is within you, within your life, environment, whatever it is, there's always a plan for it. And you may not be able to completely see it because he's not going to give you all the steps. You may just be on step one, but he's already a million steps ahead because it's the end from the beginning. And he said that to me this morning. I think I wrote it in my journal. It's like, some of you, you're getting ready to start living your end from the beginning. Okay. That's why this first step is so important and pivotal for what the Lord is trying to get you to do, because it's going to, whatever this action is, this step that you're going to take, it's going to catapult you into this next season. It may seem like a small step, but it's really not small. It's you knowing and trusting and believing, because it's an inspired idea. It's something that the Lord just gonna drop in your spirituals, and you ain't even gonna know why you supposed to do it, but you gonna know that you're supposed to do it. I can't even make it make sense. You just gonna know that you're supposed to do it, and it's going to unlock the next part of your assignment. I don't know what it is, and I'm not here to try to tell you and make stuff up. I'm not doing that. Go talk to the Lord about it. You're gonna take a step. It may seem small to you. It may seem small to other people, but it's going to have a significant impact on this next level of your life. That's it. That's all. That's the message. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. You get ready for it. That's it. If the Lord tell you to do something, even if it don't make sense, do it anyway. You never know who you're going to encounter. You never know you just don't know how it's going to play out till you do it. Go on, do it now. And it's going to be in alignment. Let me be clear. You ain't just taking random steps. This is something that's going to be in alignment with your vision, with your goal, with where the Lord has been showing you that you're going. This ain't random. This ain't just taking steps and being like, well, maybe it's this, and maybe it's this, and maybe it's this. No, we talked about that already. This is something that I gave this on yesterday when I was saying, when you know your why, the steps that you start taking will always be in alignment with your why. Why would I do that? How would it improve me? How would it help me for where I'm trying to go? Will it help me? Or is it a distraction? Is it moving the vision forward? Or am I just doing stuff just to be doing it? We're not moving, it's like moving with purpose. I hope that makes sense. You're not just finna be out here taking steps for the sake of taking them. Okay. Take the steps that you feel like are going to help advance you and move you forward. And you'll be surprised at how the Lord be like, good job, right thing to do. And I'm saying that from a place of having taken a step. I hadn't even told y'all what the step is. I've been telling y'all, but it's just me. I told y'all the other day, I'm not going to tell people, maybe it was yesterday, I'm not going to tell people to do something I'm not willing to do myself. And one thing certain, two things show, I ain't never scared. So if you read the Kingdom Clarity newsletter on yesterday, I said a lot of this in there. Sometimes it's the smallest things that will open up the biggest doors. You be praying for a door, but sometimes the Lord be like, well, go knock on it. Sometimes you might not even have to knock. Sometimes, and I think I said this in the newsletter, sometimes what you're praying for, it's like God is he's waiting to meet you there, but you got to get there first. So it may be doing something uncomfortable. It may be going somewhere that you wouldn't normally go. It may be taking a risk. And I think we had a risky card the other day. It's just like, look, sometimes you got to, do you believe in your dream that much? That's it. Do you believe in your dream that much? That you willing to put, are you willing to bet everything on it? Because you're really not betting anything but your belief. Are you willing to bet on it? Some of you understand this because you ventured into business and you maybe, child, it's been times where you didn't had to choose and you be like, you know what, I believe in this because I believe in my vision, I believe in what God has shown me. And so you'll take a step that don't make sense to other folks, but then once you understand why you needed to take that step, and then it unlocks the next step, you be like, you was right, Lord. So I hope that makes sense to somebody, man. Like the Lord is really on that type of time. And it almost feels like as soon as you do it, it's gonna speed up. Like, I don't know how else to explain that. I just heard quickening. It's like things are going to start speeding up and it's going to move quicker than you thought it was. You might have thought that it was going to take, it's almost like, no, because you've done the foundational work. We talked about that already. You already did the foundational work. So that's not stuff that the Lord needs to teach. Come on, Lord. That ain't something he need to teach you at this next step, because you didn't already learned that. You didn't already been, you ain't, he ain't got to go through the, okay, let me make sure you gonna do this. Like, no, you already learned that. You already learned to be generous. You already learned to your integrity's intact. So when he gives you the next step, he don't have to go through those basic lessons. You didn't learn the basic. It's milk to meat. Thank y'all. It's milk to meat. Like, no, he don't have to take you back through that again. You done been through those trials. I hope that made sense to somebody. It's time to be great and amazing. Do great and amazing things. Because it did. Sometimes, let me just, because it's an understanding, y'all. The Lord, as much as we want the Lord to be our sunshine and rainbows, and he is, he also has to sometimes the message is message. This message feels a little heavy. I hope that if that makes sense, little chaotic, little heavy, little kind of like, because sometimes the Lord needs to give you, it's like tough love, but not tough. But it's just like, all right, like, listen, you got to hear what you got to hear. As much, and I am that person that wants to tell you all the love, light, and sunshiny and beautiful things. Thank you so much for the gifts, dearest one. But sometimes the Lord need to be like, hey, what you doing? So some messages feel a little heavy. And this feel like one of them where the Lord literally like, hey, I love you, but you need to hear this because maybe the people around you won't tell you the truth. I don't know. You don't need no yes girls or yes men or yes boys and girls around you. You don't need that. You need somebody gonna tell you the truth now. Sometimes you got to have some folks that's gonna be like, you know what, that's stupid. Me. one of my roots, okay? One of my, and she knows who she is. She at work right now, I think. Anyway, but she had to tell me, she was like, fool, what you mean give up? Girl, bye. Cause I was like, man, I ain't standing that. I ain't standing that. Forget it. No, she like, you done did all of this to stop now. Girl, bye. Sometimes you need somebody that's gonna tell you the truth like that. And it feels like this one of them messages where the Lord's like, no, I'm not just gonna be co-signing for the sake of co-signing. You need somebody to tell you, get your ass up. Okay? Could get out of there. You better than this. We talked about worth on yesterday, self-esteem, confidence. Like, the Lord's like, all right now, listen. Like, again, y'all, that's a tactic. The enemy will try to attack you in those ways, especially when you close to a new beginning. Man, look, Sheree said, I've been dragging my feet. Listen, and we all have. And then all of a sudden, you just gonna feel it and you just gonna do it. The Lord told me to do something, y'all, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it in 2 weeks. He said, nah, today. What? Y'all, I had to go outside yesterday. I'm gonna tell y'all about it. I had to go outside and try to get some stuff done. I got to plan a whole trip. Side note, I don't know what day I'm not going to be here yet, but the Lord said, not today. What, Lord? And then one thing turned into another thing, turned into another thing. And all of a sudden, you got a whole mission. And some of y'all, you might even be on limited. And when I say this, you might only have a certain window of opportunity in which to get it done. Because the Lord said, get this done. And I ain't got but about a week and a half to get it done. Why? Because I got to start my next semester of school. So some of it's something like that where the Lord will put a timetable on and he'd be like, you no line, no wait, no delay, get this done right now. Because you might not have a whole lot of time to get it done. So listen to listen, I'm telling you now. So it's like, okay, all right. Anyway, love you. Deep breath. Child, on a Tuesday of all days. Anyway, we receive it. Whatever it is, it's gonna be worth it. So just do it. Okay. Just let's do it. And if you look, just do it. I don't know, honey, just do it. Take the step. Okay. Y'all gonna be great and amazing, do great and amazing things. Man, when the Lord come through with the heavy messages, it'd be like, man, Lord. But I got to tell you what the spirit love, right? It's time to be great, amazing, do great, amazing things. Thank y'all so much for the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscribes, the love, the energy. I'm so truly, truly grateful. He made me do the right thing on yesterday, child. Me too. Child, that's that check me. Check in my spirituals. That's how he be. And it wasn't even the right thing. It was just, oh, I got to say that part. Let me say this. You better do what you said you're going to do. Oh, the Lord said you better do what you said you was going to do. If he give you an instruction and you say, I'm going to do it, he's in expectationals that you got to do it. Pam said, I had plans on customizing hat. And before I could do anything, we had distractions out of nowhere, even sent to the hospital for the wrong person. I'm telling you now. Look, y'all, I got to get my 3 years, y'all. Y'all give me 3 years. That's all I say. Give me 3 years, right? I got to get my passport. I got to get my passport. Yes, some of y'all, us, I'm going to say us's because travel is on my bingo card. Okay? Travel is on my bingo card. But I kind of have some limits right now to where I won't be able to travel. But when I do, it's coming, right? So get your passport, honey one, and go on get your passport. Pam said them hats, baby, that's how the enemy be. When you know you're supposed to do something and you know you're supposed to do it because the Lord being told you to do it. Ain't that just like the enemy to come in and try you in 50 different ways to get you distracted? I'm telling y'all, them distractions. Was that on this card? Them distractions be real, honey. No play. What's on this card? Boundary setting, limits, and restraints. I'm telling you, you child, how you, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. The one and only said I got a traffic ticket for tent. Not tent. Made me remove it. No. No, nah. Was it too dark? Was a tent too dark? You must be in the South. They don't even care in California. They don't care. Them folks tent up there over there was super dark. You couldn't even see through it. But here in the South, oh, you can hang that up. You can hang that up, honey. They want to see through. Well, Alabama, look, you had to be here where we at, child. You know how they do here. You already know. Good morning, honey one. Good morning, Blue. Baby, child. Welcome home. That's all I can say. I don't be outside like that. But I can child a mess. They didn't always been like that here though, ain't it? Have. I mean, I got some understanding. I got some understanding of why they like that. And it makes sense. It makes sense. But you know, still, everybody ain't riding dirty. Man, I had y'all, that man. You ever just sat up and thought about some stuff that happened and you had forgot it happened until you remember it? Anyway, y'all, why I was remembering on the other day, man, I don't even remember who I was with, Lord. Y'all, why the popos had surrounded my car? It wasn't even my car because I don't even think we were in my car. Maybe we were in my car. I think we were because how else I rolled the windows down? Y'all, why the popos hadn't ran up on me and before I knew it, they had surrounded my car? Man, look, when talking about some, where you going? I think we was half drunk. Child, we was finna go to the casino. Um, we were finna go to the casino and we had been drinking. I don't even remember who I was with. Man, look, that was a long time ago. They ain't no play. Well, I'm glad you abided, honey. One, look, Tiff said the same here in Miami, honey. Baby, I don't play with the popos now. I'm talking about what y'all. I was when I was outside for real. I ain't gonna say nothing else. You right. I'm not. I'm not saying nothing else. I ain't. Thank God for growth. Thank God for growth. That's it. That's all. Let me go take my final. Y'all, can y'all tell I was procrastinating? It is because I got to go take my marketing final. And I'm like, OMG. And it's my last final that I got to do. I think I did all right on my statistics final. Shout out to my statistics teacher, Nim. He did a great job. I got to go take this marketing final, y'all. I'm going to do it. Technically, I could probably fail the final and still pass the class because I do have an A in the class, but I'm going to do my very best to assist. I done finished my history class. I did finish statistics yesterday. I got to go take my marketing final. Y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. Look, me too, sis. I'm talking about outside. I'm finna do it. Why y'all on my? I'ma do it. Anyway, y'all go be great and amazing, do great and amazing things. I'm gonna tell y'all. Oh, side note again. Good morning, Miss Succulent. Thank y'all. I'm gonna do it, y'all. I don't know. I don't even know what. I don't even know. But can I tell y'all this? First of all, did I say this already? This marketing class, he was whooping my ass all summer long. I'm not a huge writer, but I can write when I need to write. Marketing, shout out once again. I know I said it. Let me say it again. For those of you who woke up and said that it was your calling and your gift, because honey, hi, y'all just said I had to do. Let me also say shout out to the Lord. I don't even want to talk about this. I think we mentioned this the other day. Listen, who shout out to the Lord for advances in technology. Y'all, I got a 247 out of 250 on my final marketing plan. So I just want to say shout out to the people them who want to do it, because it's not for me. You got to know your strengths. That ain't one. I done found out another not strength of Touche editing, because I don't want to do that either. I was trying to edit a video on yesterday. Maybe somebody could help. I don't have, listen, do y'all know how I just take videos multiple? I get things like 12. And I want something that you literally choose the files, the videos, and say, put them all together. Does that make sense to somebody? I just want to pick, I have like 12 videos and I just want to pick them all. And then I just want to say, here, put them into one video. How I do it? Somebody help. I think the Lord is telling me I got to learn. Y'all know I don't do no editing, right? Ever. What you see is what you get. Now I got to try to figure out CapCut. Okay. It's going to put it into one long video, even if it be like 35, 40 minutes long. Skills that I don't necessarily want, but the Lord said you're going to get them. I'm going to have to learn something. OMG. Help me. Anyway, that's coming too. So I got to learn how to do that. Right now, I'm gonna go take my marketing final. I'm finna do it, Lord, right now. I know I can't procrastinate not another further. I got to do it. That's why I had to take it. Shout out. I can't even tell y'all where it's from. But anyway, if you know, you know. I done told y'all before. Y'all go hydrate your soul. Drink your water. Say your gratitude. Have a fantastic and an amazing day in purpose on purpose. Don't forget, I will not be on at 6 a.m. in the morning, but I will be on. So make sure you turn your notifications on so you're notified anytime I go live or post a video. I will see y'all on tomorrow. I don't know what time. Maybe between 9 and 10. Does that sound right? Yeah, it won't be too late. It may be between, just I'm gonna say between 8 and 10, somewhere around there. I should very hopefully be live between that time. Either way it goes, I will see y'all on tomorrow. Let me go take this final, y'all. I done did all I can do to try to procrastinate it. The Lord said, go do your work. I'm finna go do it. Thank y'all so much for the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscribes, the love, the energy. I will see y'all on tomorrow. I will see y'all. Y'all have a fantastic and an amazing day in purpose on purpose. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Bye. Child, because I don't want to go do it. Look, pouting. The Lord say, I don't care. Go take this final. He don't care nothing about my little pouting. And he don't care nothing about